Good morning. How is everyone doing today? I've had a few busy days watching my granddaughter while my daughter had surgery, but all seems to be doing well with her. Thank God for that. Thank you for the prayers, everyone. I appreciate that very, very much. I got into an interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and it was about what if I could only take 8 items from the kitchen, or 8 items from the living room, or 8 items from the bedroom, 8 items of clothing. And I had to throw it all in my Jeep, and that was what I had left to live with. Um, because you never know, I guess that's considered bugging out, and you need to know these things ahead of time. So it got me thinking on um, my 8 books that I definitely would have to have. And the one book that you can't see here, well, there's two you can't see here, is my Sewing Everything manual. Um, I would have to have that because definitely my sewing machine would be going with me, and everything I'd need, because that would actually become a trade of mine because I can sew most anything. Um, then Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill. I've had that book since the 70s. It basically is a book on capitalism and a little bit of investing, a little bit of how the financial banking system works, just common sense um, to survive this world. And it's still true today, even though some of the things in this world the elite don't want us to have anymore. So, yeah, good subject. If we can only have 8 of each things or whatever, choose well, people. Choose well. But living well on a shoestring um, is actually eating, dining, traveling very, very frugally. It taught me a lot in life. Um, just buying less and having more, basically. Um, Extreme Weather Survival Guide. That's about 2 years old. I got that because what would I do if the grid went down, and how would I survive without heat? And then there's things about flooding and that. And I basically have lived through a tornado. We had 3 tornadoes. They were F5s hit and wiped out everything I own practically. And I had to start over. And that was in 1985. And I tell people, prepare for a tornado. Know the basics how to prepare for a tornado. It's the worst scenario that you'll be lucky to walk away from. They come up so fast, you can't grab this, you can't bug out, you got to get in a hole somewhere, basically. So always be prepared for a tornado. 5 acres and independence. Basically, that's self-sufficiency, how to do it yourself. Um, Common sense, canning, growing food. I knew about that stuff growing up. The 9 steps to keep the doctor away. Physically, if you do a good diet, keep exercising, keep active, you're going to keep the doctor away with a few of the discussions in there. What nurses know and doctors don't have time to tell you, so ask them. No matter what, ask them. This is Everyday Home Health Care book. It's practical wisdom. Everyone needs this one. Living on the Home Front is a daily journal of a lady's life living during war times, through the Depression, rationings, food shortages, and she lived her daily life that way. It was a reenactment. It's a very good book. I loved it. But those would be my 8 books. You know, there's other things that maybe we'll discuss later, 8 things of this or 8 things of that, that I would definitely have to have. But I wanted to bring these books up because currently we are faced with the Great Resignation. And that's what they're calling the housing market that won't stop appreciating, and a used car and gas price crisis amid a 40-year high inflation. Yeah, we haven't seen this type of inflation since the late 70s, so, and we've maxed out. We're over that. Warning to everyone, 2007, your retirement accounts got attacked. Well, the retirement accounts are about to take a hit. Biden is planning to raise our income taxes any way he can, according to the taxfoundation.org. Best advice is to put your retirement accounts into land, real estate, value stocks, and commodities, and that would be oil, copper, or gold. Cash helps with rebalancing any unexpected expenses. That's why they call it emergency money. This isn't good. You got a taste of it in 2008, what life was like. I actually seen people walking to work. Transportation will be the major concern of every household in America. Not just due to the price of gas and upkeep for your vehicle that you drive. You know, it has to do with how it affects our country, the whole transportation system. You know, that delivers our supplies for every household, rich or poor. If we're going to be hit, you know, food, clothing, and shelter will be hard to come by at this time. The 3 basic necessities of life that 8 hours per day of labor should provide with a living wage is hitting us now. You're seeing migrations to metro areas. They are beginning. Men and women both looking for jobs. Homelessness on the streets. They're very reflective of the Hoovervilles that sprung up in the Depression years ago. What else did I write down? Regroup your thoughts now. Think outside the box, okay? These are things you need to think on. Is your place paid for? If not, can you live in your vehicle? Do you own camping gear? Do you know where it is safe to park to sleep and eat? What if your vehicle breaks down? Do you have money for the parts, for the mechanic? Maybe you just run out of gas. Do you have a gas can? Have a plan. Prepare. How much land can you afford to buy to park your vehicle on? I'm not joking. Land comes with an address, okay? Most applications, they want your address, or, so they know if you live in the area, because they hire by people that live in the area and support the stores in the area. So you need to think on that. What's going on here, I know you can grow food on land. I know you can make it your personal campsite. But first you got to know the local county laws to boondocking on your own land. Some land, you can get pretty reasonable. If you look around, go through the different states, look in the county, you can find acre to 1 acre to 5 acres of land, and you can park your vehicle there. You can live on that property. Yeah, it could be hard. It's called homesteading. You can build yourself an urban farm. You can also have other family members join you on that land and work together as a community. You might have friends that need a place to park. Figure out what you need to put on that piece of land. Like a storage shed, they don't cost that much. Okay? And a lot of people, I don't have no money. Well, you know what? I see people have money to go on vacations. I see the clothes you wear. You had money for that outfit. It's just like when people were saying, stock up on food. Oh, I don't have no money. I can't afford to stock up on food. Well, shoot, there sure was a lot of long lines at the drive-through restaurants. Remember, we couldn't go in to eat, but we could drive up. Where'd that money come from? Think of the food you could have bought for that meal you just bought. I know I could have bought probably half a week's meals for what some of you spend in a drive-thru in one night. Well, there's many ways to cook over an open fire. You can even make bread over an open fire. You just gotta know what you're doing. So I think some of you need to invest in some good survival books, some back in the day books, and I think you better get ready for what they call the Great Regression, because to a lot of people it's going to be the great regret that they didn't listen and they didn't do anything to protect what they have. They didn't stand up and fight against these politicians, these elites. They just ignored the problem. They had what they needed in life with their charge cards. Well, you know what? In the Depression, they had debtor prisons, and some places they chained them all together and took them out and worked them on farms. Oh yeah, or cleaning up the streets. Oh yeah. They wanted their blood, sweat, and tears because they had not paid their way in life. Get out of debt, people. Get something that you can call yours. Find a way to live out of a vehicle if that's all you're going to have. Do not live in a vehicle that you owe money on. Do not. You could drive that vehicle to work, come out, and it'd be gone. They done towed it away because you didn't make your payments. People think out of the box. You got to take care of yourself. I'm older. I'm not wiser. I'm trying to be practical. I'm trying to be sensible. I'm trying to live life the best I can. Because what you have today, you probably won't have tomorrow. It's an old saying. Life changes. Life goes on. How are you going to be living that next life? I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I just want everyone that is old enough and smart enough to group together, help one another, and start thinking outside of the box. How did your grandparents do it? Or your great-grandparents? Native Americans lived in this country. They could do it. They lived off the land. They respected the land. They took care of the land. Now what are you going to do? Have respect for yourself and for your neighbor. God bless and have a good day. Bye-bye.